Welcome, welcome. This is Balancing Lesson 1. Thank you for being here and being in the program. Balancing is so important that we have to have a complete element, one complete element within the 5 elements. So we're going to spend a little time talking about the importance of balancing, and then we're going to get into how to begin to balance, how to feel the body, how to feel the feet, and so on. So please pay close attention. This is so important. So balancing is not only the ability to stand on one leg, let's say, like I was just doing, but it's also important in maintaining harmony in life. Harmony in eating, for example. Eating too much or not eating enough. It's also important in food, eating the right kind of food. It's important in, let's say, talking. If you are listening to somebody and they're talking, do you listen to what they're saying? Or do you talk too much? Do they talk too much? Do you listen not enough? How about drinking? Do you drink alcohol? If you drink too much alcohol, that's bad, okay? So it's a yin and a yang, yin and yang, balancing harmony, equilibrium, homeostasis, you might say. Speed up, slow down. So that's why we need to maintain a balance in life. So this lesson is mainly to do with balancing on one leg or one foot or both feet, for example. So important just to be able to balance on 2 feet. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do you balance? What's the secret? Young people, for example, who are like 8 years old, real young, have a real hard time balancing. As a person gets a little bit older, they get more adept to balancing. For example, a 16-year-old person, on the average, can balance almost indefinitely with their eyes closed. And as a person progresses in age, that ability decreases and decreases and decreases. Balancing just on 2 legs for some people with their eyes closed is very difficult. So that's what we're going to study. We're going to study and learn and practice balancing on one leg. We're going to try to get to that point on one leg. If you can already balance on one leg, then this is not a lesson for you. But for those who want to learn how to balance, then stay with me. In balancing, there are some things in the body that help us. One of the very important things that I've already mentioned is seeing. When I said close your eyes, so closing the eyes makes it difficult to balance. Why is that? Because of concentration. If you focus on something as you balance, if you focus on a place on the floor, let's say, and you bring your leg up, it's a lot easier to balance than it is if you're looking around. So if you're looking around and you try to balance, that rotation, that movement of the head decreases the ability, because the eyes are connected to the back of the brain, and the back of the brain is connected to the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is connected to all the nerves, basically, that make us calm, and that's what we want to be when we balance. We want to be very calm, okay? So I wasn't able to balance at that point because I'm not all that calm. I'm standing here lecturing, so to speak. So let's see if I can balance and become calm and then balance. All right? So I take a big breath in, breathe out, another big breath in, and then breathe out. Look at a stationary object. Feel my leg, feel my knee, bring my foot up, place my foot against the thigh, above the knee, and come to Namaste. So now, I'm relaxed. So relaxation is another very important thing. So seeing, don't move the eyes around while you're balancing. Number two is being very calm. Well, you might switch those around, but being very calm is important. That's probably the first thing you want to do. And then the second thing is to observe, to watch, to concentrate on something maybe in front of you or on the floor. So this is what you're going to have to figure out. What do you concentrate on? So concentration is very important in balancing. Okay, another thing that's very important in balancing is to not think about things other than what you're doing. This is very important in yoga, and this is what we try to do in yoga. We try to be in the moment, in the now, so to speak, when we're doing yoga, and balancing is part of yoga. So be calm, keep your eyes focused, concentrate, and be aware of what you're doing without thinking about this or that. Don't be thinking about what that person's doing over there, that person over there. Be aware of this person. Another thing that's very important is when you're balancing is to bend the knees. Let the back come back. Try to get your body as straight as possible. Bending the knees is very important because in the joints of your body there are nerve receptors called proprioceptors. Proprioceptors give information to the brain as to what the body is doing. When you're in a pose that requires balance and you don't flex the knee, your ability to balance decreases about 20%. So to increase your balancing ability, bend the knees, and that allows the proprioceptors in the knees to be activated, to let your brain know what your legs are doing. In the military, I was in the military, and we often stood at attention when we were at boot camp. And we would be in a long line of people, recruits, at attention. And we would stand there maybe for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and people would start falling over because they locked their knees out. And that prevented blood from going to the brain, and they just kind of passed out. Well, locking the knees out is not a good thing to do if you're standing very long. It's not a good thing to do if you're trying to balance as well. All right, so how do we maintain harmony with balancing? Okay, so those are the things we want to do. We want to be calm, we want to focus, we want to concentrate, we want to breathe, we want to allow our body to relax. I think I said that. We want to focus on the body, bend the knees, okay? So all those things are very important in balancing. Now, If you're just starting out balancing, learning how to balance, I highly suggest not holding on to anything, because that's not going to allow you to learn, your body to learn to balance. If you hold on to something while you're balancing, you're going to rely on that, whatever you're holding on to, like a pole or a chair or something else. So I highly encourage you to begin to learn to balance by standing. So if you're sitting down and you're watching this video and you're able to stand, please stand up and don't hold on to anything. All right? So let your arms relax. Take a breath in the belly. Be with me on this. Be with me. Put your hand on your belly. Breathe in all the way down into the belly. And breathe out very slowly. One more time. Breathe in and relax. Let your arms come to your side. Maybe just wiggle your arms a little bit. All right, what I'd like for you to do is be in your body. Bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Feel both feet on the floor. And I suggest that you don't wear shoes, because shoes, if you wear shoes, that helps to balance. And we don't want shoes on. We want to be able to balance in bare feet. Now, if you're on a yoga mat, that's okay. But the yoga mat is a little squishy. For some people, it's better to step off of the yoga mat when they're doing balancing, when they're doing balancing poses. But here again, since we're doing yoga and we use yoga mats, I suggest and I encourage you to learn how to balance on a yoga mat with bare feet, because that's what we do in yoga. We wear bare feet because we use a sticky mat, and a sticky mat is for not allowing the feet to slip. We don't want to slip and fall down or do a split. So the mat is made specifically, especially for bare feet. All right? So we're relaxed. We took a couple of big breaths. If you need to do that again, relax, bare feet. If you've got shoes on, go ahead and take your shoes off. If you have your shoes off and you're standing on your yoga mat or on the floor, if you don't have a yoga mat, being on the floor is okay. If you're standing on something like a hardwood floor, that's a lot easier than having to stand on a cushy rug or carpet. But a rug or carpet is okay. But as I said, you want some kind of a mat beneath you so you don't slip. A yoga mat specifically, not just any mat. All right, so what I'd like you to do is spread your feet apart about as wide as your hips and point your toes out just a little bit. Let your arms hang. Bend your knees. And just rock to the left, bending the knee a little bit, up and over to the other leg, bending the knee a little bit. So we're just balancing back and forth on one leg and then the other. Now let the breath be with the movement. So as you come down on your knee, breathe out, come up, breathe in, breathe out to the other side. Up and down with the breath. Just feeling the legs, feeling the body, feeling the breath, and not thinking of anything other than what we're doing. Feeling mainly the bottom of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, the toes, the heels, the arch of the foot. Good. Come back to center. Place your hands on your belly. One hand on the belly and one hand on that hand. Bring the arms back a little bit. Okay, lean back a little bit. And bend the knees forward. And look up if you can. Go look up a little bit. Notice if you're holding your breath. Let the breath flow. And then come back up. And lean forward. Hands still on the belly. Lean forward. And then come back up. Good. All right, so why did we do that? Let me explain. Let's go to the left or to the right, back and forth again. Now, as we do this, bring all of your attention to the body, especially the bottoms of the feet and the knees. So it's kind of a flow with the breath. Bring your awareness to the bottom of the feet and feel where on your bottoms of your feet, the soles of your feet, where you feel most of the weight of your body. Is it in the middle of the foot, on the outer edge of the foot, or where? And then put the hands on your belly again and lean back and feel where your weight is. And then come forward. Okay? Now there's a very, very slight difference between all of those movements and where the weight is distributed on the bottom of your feet. Now, if you bring your feet closer together, what we're going to do is try to raise one foot. Remember to keep the legs strong. Keep the knees bent. Let your arms come wherever you want to. Keep the knees bent and raise the other foot up ever so slightly. Notice the breath. And then come down and go to the other side. Let the breath flow. Don't hold the breath. Okay, come back down on both feet. Now, did you let your awareness get away from you? Did it not stay in the feet, in the body? Did your awareness, were you thinking of something else? So here is where it's very important to be in the moment and not look around. If you're looking around, that's a no-no in balancing. All right? If you watch the tight wire walkers, the Walindas, for example, when they walk down that wire, they're not looking around. They're looking right at that wire. They're focusing. They are concentrating. So in balancing, that's what we want to do. If you're outside walking around, you want to be in the moment. Be aware of what you're doing. If you're walking downstairs, be in the moment. Don't be thinking about something other than walking downstairs or walking up on the curb. Often people will step on the curb or step down off the curb, miss the curb, miss something, and fall down and break a bone. So we don't want to do that. So balancing is very important. All right, so when you balance, I've got a shoe here for illustrations. Say this is the bottom of your foot. When you feel the bottom of the foot, notice you've got an outside, an inside, and the arch is somewhere here if you have an arch, toes and heel. So you might notice that when you balance on one leg, like this is the left foot, the left shoe of the foot, you might notice that most of the weight, like 70%, will be on the outside because you're balancing on the left foot. So a lot of the weight will be here. And that's where you want to bring your awareness, your concentration, to the bottom of this place on your foot. So let's try that again. So take a big breath in, relax. Open the eyes, focus. Let the breath continue up and down, in and out. Concentrate on something. Bend the knee. We're going to go on one leg, so either the left or the right, it doesn't make any difference. This time, when you begin to lift your foot, your other foot off the floor, just lift the heel off so that the toe is touching. Okay, we want to try an experiment and see where and if we can feel where the weight is on the bottom of the foot that we're standing on. Feel the weight. Notice that now the weight on the bottom of the foot is shifted a little bit to that edge of the foot. Okay? Now bring your awareness down all the way you're down your leg and the knee and down to the bottom of your foot. And just see if you can imagine that foot, what it would look like on the floor. All right? So come up and let's do the other foot. So lean over, bend the knee, relax, focus, concentrate, and allow your heel to come up. Breathe. Now what we're doing is we're focusing and concentrating on the bottom of the foot. All right, let's come back to both feet. Let's do that little exercise that we did when we first started. Our legs apart, and we bend one side, noticing the knees, and then bending to the other side, bending the knees. Breathing in and out as we come up and down. Move with the breath. Breathe with the movement. All right, so bring the feet a little bit closer together now, about as wide as the hips. And we're going to try that balancing on just one foot now. Don't be excited. Be calm. Relax. Take a big breath in. Might put your hand on your belly. Breathe out slowly. One more time. Big breath in. Breath out slowly. Open the eyes. Concentrate on something. Bend the knee of one leg. Lean over to that side. Bring all of your awareness, well, not a lot of your awareness, to the bottom of your foot. And then raise your knee. Raise the foot off of the floor. And then down. Great. If you were able to do that, that is great. All right, fantastic. If you couldn't do it, you just need a little more practice. Practice, patience, and persistence. Remember the 3 Ps. So let's try the other leg. So bend the knee, take some breaths, relax, bring the other foot up and off the floor. Bring all of your awareness to the bottom of your foot. Well, most of your awareness. Bottom of the foot, the bottom of the foot, the bottom of the foot. And then back down to both feet. All right, fantastic. All right, so now we're going to do some more one leg standing, but it's going to be a little bit different. So please feel free to relax and take a break now and then, whenever you want to, take your time. So this time, we're going to bring our legs, feet, about hip width apart, again, like we did. And just go back and forth, again, the knees, bend the knees. It's really important that we feel the bottom of the feet. Bring your awareness up to your whole body, out into the arms, the hands, the fingers. Awareness is what it's all about. Awareness. Be with the body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lean over to one leg. Doesn't make any difference if it's the right or the left. Rather than bring the leg up behind us, the foot up behind us, we're going to bring the knee up in front of us. All right? Put your hands out a little bit. The further apart your arms are, the little bit better it is for balancing. Feel the weight on your leg. Bend the knee, and then raise the other leg, knee up. To where it's almost in front of you. Feel the bottom of the foot you're standing on. Breathe. Good. Now bring the foot down. All right. Fantastic. Let's go over to the other side. Feel the hip, feel the knee, feel the ankle. Slowly raise the knee up. Concentrate on something. Look at something. Don't look around. Knee up and down. Good. All right, so that was accomplished. So we've gone a long ways now. So let's go back. We're going to go a little bit deeper. Just relax. Let's do the Om to invigorate the parasympathetic nervous system. So take a deep breath in all the way up into the chest. Inflate the belly. Can't you feel the vibration through the whole body? Can you imagine vibrating the vagus nerve, the largest nerve in the body? One more time. One more. Big breath in. Good. This time, we're going to bring our hands together in front of our heart in Namaste pose. See if you notice the difference between doing this and this. We're going to do the same thing. Lean over to one leg, bend the knee. Now you're relaxed, and then raise the other knee up in front. Breathe. Up. And down. Fantastic. Keep your hands there. slowly lean over to the other side. Bend knee. Breathe. Lift leg. Lift knee. Okay, good. Now, when you did that, did you feel any difference? Any difference between doing this and doing this? Okay, maybe, maybe not. Whatever the difference is depends on the person. So I don't know what you're feeling. Only you know. Some people feel it's easier with the hands out. Some people feel it's easier with the hands together. So maybe it has to do with doing the Om. When we first started out, we didn't do the Om. And then the second time we did the Om, if you remember. So you might practice that, and I suggest that you do that on your own. Maybe do the practice one leg and then the other, at least every other day, or maybe every day. I do it the first thing I do. I get up in the morning before I have breakfast. All right, so let's go a little bit further with this. You got your hands down. Put one arm down between your legs. Now we're going to go a little bit further with this. So you might want to take a break and then come back, but I'm going to go ahead. You can stop at any time you want to. All right, so here we go. What we're going to do is, first of all, let's do the Om. Into your body. You can do it more if you want to, but 3 is about the minimum. And I highly suggest doing that before you do yoga and anytime you want to. So, as we were saying, hand down between the legs, lift the knee, breathe, bend the knee of the leg you're standing on. Bring your foot up and take a hold of the bottom of your foot. See, we've gone a long ways now. Release. All right. Very good. See, we can do anything if we're relaxed. Well, almost anything. All right, so let's try the other leg. Bend the knee, lean over, calm, up, hand between leg. Whoa, all right, fantastic. Now, let's see how long we can stand. Let's go back to the leg that we first started on. Hand in the middle. Take a few breaths. Relax. And then bring the knee up. Take a hold of the bottom of the foot. Stay. Okay, that's enough. Let's go down slow. Good. Okay. So that took a little stress maybe to do that. So for the first time, if you did that, that is fantastic. If you need to practice more, please practice more. So this is very good to practice and to get very steady in the awareness, steadiness in the awareness. Lean over to the other leg now. Hand between legs. Breathe. And then lift the foot underneath and hold. Okay, good. Release. Good. Now, if you did that with both legs, you get a gold star. If you didn't stay up as long as I did, you get a silver star. If you went up and back down, you get a bronze star. If you didn't do it, practice. All right, good. Let's put our arms behind us, like this. With the arms behind, we're going to bring the knee up again. And down. And then the other knee up. And down. So why that is difficult is because the arms aren't out here and the arms aren't here. They're behind and you're constricted. And it makes the anxiety, you might say, a little bit more intolerant. So that's what we're working against. We're working against anxiety, depression, PTSD, if you have any of those. This is going to help all of those conditions, all of those maladies. So this is fantastic to do. So we can bring in forms of anxiety by doing certain things, and I'll be doing those to show you that you can bring about anxiety, which we don't want to keep, but we want to know, we want to understand that we still can be anxious. We can still be depressed. We can still have post-traumatic stress, bad memories. So we're going to wipe all of that out by doing yoga. Believe me, I've been there, and you can overcome that. You can move away from all of those. But you have to stay with this. All right, so let's do that again. Let's create some anxiety. Put the hands behind. Grab your elbows if you can. Now, with your arms behind you, let's do the Om, 3 Oms. Calm, relax, focus. Lean over, bring the knee up. And down. Breathe in and out. And then the other knee. And down. See how much difference that oming makes How much more relaxed? You might be 30%, 50%. I was almost 80% more relaxed than the first time I did it. All right, so we're just going to go one step further, and that'll be it for this lesson, lesson 1, balancing. So practice, and then you can go on to the next lesson of maybe meditation, maybe breathing, whatever is necessary for you to take. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stand with the feet a little bit closer than the hips are wide. Down, okay. Arms out to the side or here, whichever you prefer, or out further. So experiment with your hands. Stand fairly tall and straight. Become calm, because what we're going to do is we're going to reach down and take our foot again. But this time, we're going to extend the foot out. Let me demonstrate. So this time, we're going to extend the foot out a little bit. So what we're going to do, don't try this right now. We're going to bring the leg up, the knee up, take a hold of the bottom of the foot, and try to straighten the leg out as much as we possibly can. Now, that looks impossible maybe, but that's okay. That's just something that we're aiming for. So get comfortable. You want to do the 3 ohms? Put your weight on one leg, bend knee. Put your hand in the middle. Bring the foot up. Take a hold of the bottom of the foot. And extend your leg out as much as you possibly can. Take your time. And back down. Outstanding. You did that. That is great. All right, let's try the other leg. Relax. Shift over to one leg, preferably the opposite one. Hand in middle. Slowly raise knee. Focus on something. Breathe. Down. Thank you. Namaste. I honor the love that's within you. I honor the life that's within you. I honor the peace within you. And I honor the truth that's within you. When you are in that place in yourself, and I am in that place in myself, we are one and the same. I love you.